Hey guys, welcome to Alcohol, Drugs, and Us. I'm excited tonight to talk about a very important topic. I want to thank you for joining. I'm Joseph McCray, and that's what we do. We talk about alcohol, drugs, and us, right? How is it affecting us? And so tonight, I want to talk about sober looks good on you. Sober looks good on you. And I think it's worth talking about when you think about the word sober, it means to not be intoxicated, to not be under the influence, uh, alcohol primarily. But I like to just add that it should mean free from alcohol and drugs, right? When people say they're sober, um, sometimes they'll use the word clean, but we replace that with drug free or drug negative. Uh, it still all comes together with sober or sobriety or soberness, all that kind of stuff. So, we're going to talk about some ways that people get sober, some ways that people get sober. And so, um, if you've been thinking about getting sober, if you've been thinking, if the ideas kind of come to your mind, and you said, you know what, this is getting kind of old, this is getting kind of tired. uh, some people say I'm getting sick and tired of being tired. I'm sick and tired of being tired. And this is the time. It's no better day than to get sober now. And so we're gonna go through a couple of slides here, just kind of give you some ideas of how to get sober, how to get sober. And so let's see what's next here. Um, Sometimes family is a motivator to get you sober, to get you to stop drinking, to stop using drugs. And sometimes family has been hurt. They've gone through the pain of your substance use, and they're tired too. They're a little worn out too, and sometimes that might mean that they might not want to be with you. They may want to get away, right, so they can feel safe, because while you're under the influence, you can make a lot of people feel unsafe because they don't really know what you're going to do, what you're going to say. And so family can be a really big motivator to get you to think about sobriety, to get you to think about being sober. And so let's see what else we got next here. We have, sometimes people fall down. Sometimes, things start to fall apart in your life. The job doesn't go too well. Your health start to get impacted. Your relationships, I mean, they're starting to fall apart. And so these could be some really good motivators to want to get sober, to make today your day of sobriety. Okay. And as we go along, you're going to find that something may really connect with you. So let's see what else we got lined up here for you. We got the church. Church is a great opportunity, a great spiritual resource for people seeking out freedom. And it just reminded me when I saw the picture of the church that I like to always pray when we do this show. Father, I just thank you for this opportunity to share. I give your name the praise and honor. I say, God, that somebody will be ministered to and blessed as a result of this podcast, this Facebook, this YouTube, and we'll give you the glory in Jesus' name. So yes, yes, yes. So church, it's a great way. I saw it in my own family. I saw a turnaround. I saw a putting down of alcohol, no more drinking, just because of a church exposure, a church experience. And it made me believe that God is good. God really wants our lives to be the best. He doesn't want us out of our minds and um, our conscious changed and people not really knowing who we are. So he wants people sober. He wants you alcohol free, drug free. He wants only the mind of Christ to be in you. And so as we keep going along, there's some other things that come along next, and that is counseling. Sometimes a counselor can help people get sober. Sometimes a counselor can talk with you and give you some information. Many times people don't have the right information about alcohol and drugs. They're going off of what the people around them say. People who are not really informed. People who really don't know addiction and really don't know ways to get out of addiction and ways to kind of get your thinking to think more positive, manage your stress, to deal with, to be able to cope better. And a counselor can do that. A counselor can give you that information, give you those tools to really help you overcome cravings, deal with the struggles that you might have when it comes to use. And so, seeking out a counselor, working with a counselor is a great opportunity. And I got something else for you. Let's see what else we got for you next. Groups. So, groups is great. Groups is an awesome opportunity for you to learn from other people who are dealing with some of the same issues that you're dealing with. The group sort of helps one another, they support one another. Um, Everyone's experience is different. And so there's an opportunity for you to gain wisdom from what someone else went through. You can begin to learn from others' mistakes. You don't have to do the same things. You can learn from what other people have gone through. And so, group therapy, having groups, being in like a program that offers you groups, is a great way to increase your learning, increase your ability to be able to fight off addiction, because addiction will call on you. It will tell you 3 in the morning to get up and seek drugs. It'll tell you as soon as you wake up to take a drink, because there are chemical changes going on in your brain, and there are also behavioral things that you've been accustomed to doing that you have to break. And group therapy is a good way to break those behaviors. Okay. And next, we have something else for you, I'm sure, lined up. So sometimes people will come and get a detox. Sometimes, if you've been drinking alcohol, you need to be detoxed. You need to be safely withdrawn from that substance. It is poisonous. It is poisonous. And when you stop drinking, your body responds, because what it does is it depresses the nervous system. And when you stop, the nervous system becomes pretty hyper. It gets really revved up. And that's why you see the tremors, the shakes, the seizures, the hallucinosis, feeling like bugs are crawling on you, or bugs are running, or mice are running across the floor. Mice could be running across the floor, but people just have this hallucinosis going on, and it can further get into what we call DTs, delirium tremens, tremens, which is 2 to 3 days after you've stopped drinking. You can get severe confusion, very high blood pressure, and you can begin to get a neurological or brain collapse where your breathing could stop. It could be deathly, okay, coming off alcohol. But this medicine, Valium, will help. It will help you safely come off of it. You're in the hospital, you got doctors, nurses all around you. And then there's another medicine that we give, is Librium. So those two are really good anti-anxiety benzodiazepines. That's what they're called. They mimic alcohol in the brain, and they allow you to safely come off of alcohol. Okay, they allow you to stabilize, and they do a really great job of detoxing someone who's been drinking. Okay, that's what they're used for. And sometimes you need that. Not everybody does. Not everybody needs a detox, but some people do. Some people um, have been drinking a long time and have been drinking a lot. So their body will go through changes when they do stop, or when they reduce their drinking. Even if you go from 3 pints to 1 pint, the body can know that it's been a change, and you can have withdrawals just from reducing your amount of consumption of alcohol. So be careful with that, folks. What else we got next on this? Yeah, so now that you've been detoxed, you all safe, no more tremors and shakes and all that. There's a medication called naltrexone. So naltrexone is a medication that helps with the cravings to drink alcohol. So this helps a person not have a craving to drink. It blocks opioid receptors in the brain, and you can drink on it. Okay, I won't make up no stuff for you, but you can drink on naltrexone. But the way it works is that you won't enjoy the alcohol. Okay, you'll be like, "What was that? I didn't get any pleasure from it." And the idea is that you would not continue drinking. Okay, so it works that way. Like all medications, they do have side effects. So the Valium and the Librium can cause um, sedation, some real tiredness with you. The naltrexone can be very nauseating, can cause some sluggishness. Not all people experience them, but those are the ones that stand out the most in my work. Okay, and so naltrexone is the most popular medication we give for alcohol users to stop drinking, and we've seen some really good results with that one. And next we have antabuse. So antabuse is another medication we use to treat alcohol use. I want to just show a quick commercial. We'll throw a commercial in there, and we'll come back to talking about antabuse. Uh, just want to give you an opportunity to check out this commercial. Why people drink. I talk in this chapter about what are some reasons why people drink. Sometimes it's curiosity, sometimes it's family exposure, sometimes it's stress, sometimes it's mental illness. They will drink to deal with a depression or bipolar or schizophrenia. I talk all about that in the chapter, and that alcohol is never a tool or resource to deal with mental illness. You do need counseling and maybe medication to deal with mental illness. Do not drink alcohol. All right. So I want to get back to talking about antabuse. So antabuse is a medication for people who are serious about not drinking. The way it works is it keeps the liver from breaking down alcohol, and people get really sick. They feel like they're going to vomit. They have a headache. It's because it stops the liver for a period of time, maybe a half an hour or so, from not processing alcohol. And you get the really toxic effects from alcohol. The way it works is a deterrent. It is to frighten you, scare you, make you afraid to drink, make you just want to avoid alcohol at all costs. That's the way that medication works. And some people have found some really great benefits because nothing else has helped them to stop drinking. No matter how many people have talked to them, how many programs they've gone in, they've always found a way to drink. And so that's for a person who is very serious about, hey, I don't want to drink, whatever it takes. I just don't want to drink alcohol. And so sometimes they'll get on antabuse for a period of time just to get some stability, just to be able to not put that toxic substance in their bodies so that they can start getting some information, start processing better, and being able to stay alcohol free. So they may not stay on it forever or for a real long time, but just enough so that they can start getting new information and not have such a craving to drink. And let's see what else we got for you next. So I do want you to know that when you're getting sober, it's like this house. This house is on all these stilts. And so there are a lot of different supports. There are a lot of different things that need to be in place to sort of help you stay sober. You may need an AA, an Alcohol Anonymous group. You may need a outpatient treatment center. You may need a church or um, some religious organization. You may need the support of your family. It takes a lot of different things to keep you sober. Okay. You may have to go to mental health appointments. Maybe you have a mental health illness and just didn't know it. So all those things are important. You need to take care of your physical health. So when you see that house with all of those different stilts under it, is an example of all the different things people may need while they're in recovery. Okay, they may need so many different things to keep them standing, keep them above ground, keep them stable. So don't ever look down on people who may take medicine or may go to mental health and may be at the church, whatever it takes. Malcolm X says, by any means necessary. And you don't owe anyone an explanation for your life and what works for you. You don't have to explain to people and get their acceptance. You just have to do what you need to do for yourself. And let's see what else I got here for you. Just popped in my mind. Antabuse. So we do want to make sure we check that liver on antabuse. Um, we don't want to have any like sluggishness or any liver changes. So they will check your liver periodically just to make sure the medicine is safely working. In my career, I've not seen any abnormalities from people taking antabuse, but that is a precautionary thing that we will do. And so, if you got a question, comment out there, definitely throw that my way. Definitely want to hear from you. But what we got next, engineer? My engineer is doing a great job here. Methadone. Yeah, so Murray said, I hope a lot of people are here to this. Murray, I do too. I just keep putting out the content, Murray. And I don't know where it goes. I don't know who gets it, who watches it in their car, in their home. But I believe you do have to give the people the information. And I love it that this is really a safe forum because people get the information and no one has to know that you're watching this video. It's in the privacy of your home, your car, your school, whatever you are. And you can choose to follow what I said, or you can choose to pay me no mind, or you could choose to pay me a little bit of mine. But you do need to get this information. You do need to get this content. I mean, I do addiction treatment all the time. And so I see it. I know what works. I know how people get their lives turned around. And I just want to use as many formats as possible to help as many people as possible. So, yes, Mary, I do hope that people get a lot of people get it, but I may never know. They may never call, send me a card and say, hey, I got something out of your talk. But that's okay. I still keep doing it. And so I want to come back to methadone. So methadone is a medication that's used for the treatment of opioid addiction. So if you want to get sober, you take this medicine. It is an opioid, and people take it because they have cravings, they have withdrawals, and it's supposed to block the effect of an opioid. Okay, it's give you some blocking so that you don't really feel if you were to use another opioid. It works really well. It works really well, but it can't work by itself. You do need to be a part of groups, some counseling, so that you can change behavior. So your body may feel good, but you also need to get your thinking different. You need to get some new information in your mind and see the world in a different way. And so this medicine came out in the 60s and it's still around today. And it really helps people, like I said, with cravings to use opioids, withdrawals that they may have, and give them some type of a blocking effect. Now, I know people say, well, side effects. Yes, of all medications, constipation is a big one, sweating, um, sedation if you're on a dose that's too high. The people you see nodding and falling all over, folks, they've added a lot of different things to the methadone. That's just not methadone only. They've added gabapentin, a mood stabilizing medicine, and pain medication. They've added Clonopins and Xanax, all these kind of things, so they can get a high, and that should not be, unfortunately, but it does happen. We try to address it where I work in the great Hopkins, but there are those who will not do right by it. But there are a good amount of people that will do good by the medication. We came along with another medicine that helps as well with methadone. It is called Suboxone. It's a strip that people take, they put it under their tongue. It helps with cravings for opioids, it helps with withdrawals, it helps to give some type of blocking effect so people don't enjoy the other opioids that they may have been abusing. Folks, I want to say to you, um, a lot of people are dying from opioid addiction. Somewhere around 70,000 people in 2021 lost their lives. They took an opioid, they took fentanyl. They took a drug that's like $3, $6 on the street, and they lost their lives. Their breathing stopped. That's what it does. It causes respiratory depression. They took this substance for little to nothing and they lost their lives. Those same people could have been on methadone, could have been on Suboxone, folks. And so please be open to allow people to choose whatever they may need for their sobriety, for their soberness. Okay. I think a comment came in, no way you should get on methadone to get off another opioid. Okay, James. Some people believe that. Some people do believe that, but I believe that you have to use whatever is necessary to get sobriety in your life. And the brain is altered and changed with opioid use, with all drug use. And we've found over the many, many decades that this medicine has been effective. Now, people will disagree. People say, no, Joe, you're wrong. Well, I've only seen 20 some years of people really getting their lives together with it. And you may not agree with me, James, uh, but that's okay. You don't have to. You don't have to. But whoever it is out there that is struggling, you need to give um, an opportunity to whatever is available, whatever resources, whatever treatments, whatever modalities, whatever. So let me read some more. James says, you're not sober if you're on methadone. Some people will say that you're not sober if you're on methadone. Those same people will say you're not sober on Suboxone. Well, guess what? You don't have to listen to them. You don't have to receive it. You don't have to get into that argument. You don't have to beat yourself up about it. You just move on to somebody who will receive you. So let me go on to the next slide. What we got? So Sublocade. So this is a injection people will take. It is Suboxone. It is a long-acting one. They take it and it lasts somewhere about 26 to 27 days. They put it in their stomach. It makes like a little ball in their stomach, and it releases a dose every day for this person. And they are able to not have the cravings, to not have the withdrawals from opioids. Now, no one said anyone has to stay on these medicines forever, but they do need them for a period of stability. And I've seen people get off the medicine, and I've seen people just be on maintenance. And what we call this is harm reduction. We call this as harm reduction. We say this is the safest way we know to help you with your addiction to opioids. And if it works for you, folks, it works for you. I'm not in your brain. I don't know the chemistry that is taking place. I don't know the damage that is taking place. But I do know when people get on this medicine, I see them getting stable. I see them not having to inject drugs, sell their bodies, go to prison, get a job, and be functioning. That's what I see. And for that, I give it a plus. I give it a plus. And so you out there who are going to watch this video, I want you to explore all of your options, okay? Because dying for $3 or $6 of using fentanyl, and they've even added another drug to it called xylazine or trank, and that is an animal tranquilizer that gets added to fentanyl, which is an opioid, to boost it and give you an incredible high. When you see people walking around like zombies or their skin is all eaten up, it's probably because they're using xylazine and trank. This is a way to keep the user addicted, to keep you trapped in opioid addiction. And I'm just here to share with you some resources to get out of your addiction and get sobriety and get soberness. Okay. That's what I'm here to do today. Let's see what else we got. You got anything else? What we got next here? I got my engineer working with me. I'm not clicking on this. I might be at the end of my slides. He might can't find any more. But that's what we've been talking about. Getting sober, soberness is for you. It's your day to get sober. And whatever means you have to do it, you just have to do it, folks. Those 70,000 people who lost their lives in 2021, some research said 35,000 or 50% of them could have been alive if they had just got on methadone. Can you believe that? 35,000 brothers, sisters, mothers, cousins could have been alive. They've just gotten on methadone. Just even if it was just a season for a moment, they could have been alive. And so I stopped by to just tell you folks to explore all your resources, look at what's all out there, find out what works for you, and get your sobriety today. Get your sobriety today. If there's some more questions or comments, I can extend this time. Let me just go back to that commercial. Engineer, go back to that commercial again. Just show that for a second. Why people drink. I talk in this chapter about what are some reasons why people drink. Sometimes it's curiosity, sometimes it's family exposure, sometimes it's stress, sometimes it's mental illness. They will drink to deal with a depression or bipolar or schizophrenia. I talk all about that in the chapter, and that alcohol is never a tool or resource to deal with mental illness. You do need counseling and maybe medication to deal with mental illness. Do not drink alcohol. Hey, so I'm back. I just wanted to see if there's a question or a comment out there. Please let me know. I'm here. This is Alcohol, Drugs, and Us. I'm Joe McCray. I'm an addictions treatment nurse. And let's say if we got any more questions or comments. Yeah, so you all are watching. So I just been going through all the resources that come to my mind for sobriety, for getting people not to be drinking, consuming alcohol or consuming illicit, illegal drugs, so that so they can just get a stable life, a happier life, a life where they're not like out of their mind, not knowing who they are, the people around them not knowing who they are. Uh, it's just a really tough time that we're living in today. The amount of drugs that are being used, the concentration of them, even marijuana, the potency of marijuana has just soared like no other. Folks, people want you to keep coming back. They want you to keep coming back. They don't want to lose their customers. And I just want to tell you that your life will be much better if you are sober. If you do seek out the treatments, if you seek out the naltrexone, the Antabuse, the church, the meetings, the AA, the NA, Narcotic Anonymous, whatever, the methadone, the Suboxone, the Sublocade, the mental health appointments or mental health visits, the regular doctor's office, if you seek out these things, if you pursue these things, you can really get yourself a better life. That's what it's about, a better life. See, health, one of the definitions of health is being the best that you can be. Just plain and simple. You say, well, I'm healthy. Yeah, because I'm being the best that I can be, mentally, physically, spiritually, all aspects of our life is being the best that I can be. And if you're doing that, that's healthy. That's some good stuff, to be being the best that you can be. And I just come to encourage people, let folks know, utilize all the resources. Look out there, look them up, check it out, see what works for you. Because at the end of the day, you want to have a life of sobriety, soberness, folks. You want to be in your right mind. You don't want to be out of your mind. You don't want to be on methadone, popping pills and looking all out of it. That's not the way the medicine works, okay? And you don't want to do that. You want to get sobriety, and you want to make it today. So yeah. So I'm just checking out any questions or comments. All right, I don't see anything new on here, so I think I'll just sign out for the evening. Appreciate you all. Please share the video. It definitely will be on my podcast, Alcohol, Drugs, and Us. It'll be on my YouTube channel, Addiction Treatment with Mr. Joe. And I just let somebody know, if somebody is ringing the bell, sounding the horn, trying to let somebody know that today is your day to be sober. Thank you for tuning in.